Hey everyone, I hope you had an absolutely wonderful weekend. This is Unlocking You 2.0 with Spencer Bonin and Balwinder Marwaha, your emotion and body code practitioner and transformational leadership coach, coming together to teach you some stuff about making your life better in the moment right now. So today's topic is all about getting out of your own head. Who out there you're going through situations in life and you're just circling around up here and then it's preventing you from taking action. Who out there is going through that? I know I go through that. Bally, I know you go through that too. We all do. But what are some things that we can do to get out of that and help us really get onto the path of what we need to actually get done and take the action we need to take action on? So with that, Bally, what's going on consciously? What can we do consciously to help with that?
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Spencer. And what you said is so true. How many times do we get in the way of our own self? And really, all the time. As much as you try to even get out of your way, you're still in your way.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk to you about getting out of your way, getting out of your own head, because what this does is it hinders you and it limits you from reaching your true mission, your true calling, and what you really, really want to do. Um, so to start off with, get this thought out of your head. The first thought, the biggest thought, the one that kills the most dreams in the world is I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or yeah, they can do it, but I can't. It's not something I can do. I don't have the ability, or I don't have the skill to do this. Because the minute you start telling yourself that, that's it, game over. You haven't even started, you haven't even attempted. You've already just discounted the fact that you don't have the ability or the skills to do this. And so let me tell you, and you may have heard this saying before, but the richest soil in the earth is the graveyard. All of people's thoughts and ideas and everything they have, they take it with them because they kept telling themselves that, hey, I'm not good enough to do this, or I can't do this, or this is not for me, or this is not something I can do. And, raise your hand if you said that, because let me tell you, I have there, my hand is up. Uh, you wouldn't believe how many times in my life I've said to myself that, no, this is not something that I can accomplish, or, yeah, that would be cool to be able to do that. But the reality is I didn't even give myself the opportunity to try. I quashed it before I even had a plan on potentially, hey, how could I do this if I really wanted to? So consciously, when we tell ourselves that, hey, yeah, no, I can't do this, or we look at somebody else who's maybe achieved something or done something, and we're like, wow, that's amazing. I wish I could do that. Well, you can. You can do anything you truly want to. You can accomplish anything you truly want to. You just have to know how to get there. And the first step is getting out of your own way. The first step is telling yourself, okay, I'm gonna try to attempt. I'm gonna take the first step moving forward. Because let me tell you, when you know you want to do something and you take the step forward towards it, the world takes 10 steps towards you. So
Mm,
consciously get out of your own way.
mm.
Stop telling yourself that, hey, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or, you know, oh, wow, look at what they did. I wish I could do that. You can't. You absolutely can. And there's nothing stopping you other than yourself. So when I say that, Spencer, that there's nothing stopping us other than ourselves, subconsciously, you're like, hold on a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
It is yourself that's stopping you. But what is it subconsciously? What is it that stops you from, believing in yourself or believing in the ability that you can do what you want to and getting out of your own way?
Absolutely. And it's so interesting because like you and I were talking the other day about decisions
Mhm.
that I had made, right? Where we were on a phone call, where we were on our weekly call, and there was a questions and answers, and I had some questions that I wanted to ask. And did I ask those questions? Guess what? I didn't.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I talked with you afterwards, and you were like, you know what, man, every time that you say or that you doubt yourself, we're gonna, instead of getting you a swear jar, we're gonna get you a doubt yourself jar. And every time you doubt yourself, you're gonna have to pop $5 in there or $2 in there. And I was just like, it was like a shocking reality of really what's going on
Mhm.
there. But And the truth is we all have stuff to work on. There's always, like, I have stuff to work on, you have stuff to work on. You who's watching this, I guarantee there's stuff that we can improve on for sure. No one's perfect, but the reality is we have these different subconscious baggage, luggage suitcases that we're carrying around with us at all times. And along with that, there might be a trapped emotion of overwhelm. There might be, and like what you were talking about, feeling unworthy or worthless. You might have these little baggages of this little suitcase or this backpack that says I'm unworthy, or you know, something along those lines that just makes you feel like, oh, no one's gonna like that question, no one's gonna like that. It helps. It makes you stuck in your head rather than just kind of going for it and taking the risk, right? So, but that's what it is. There's trapped emotions. There's other statements that are kind of stuck in there. And with the emotion code and body code, even though we're not perfect, we can go in there and we can find these things and we can extract them to make us better as we go forward throughout our lives. So that's kind of what's going on subconsciously. There's a few things I'll talk about later, but is there anything else consciously going on, Bally?
Absolutely. So let's say we say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get out of my own head. I'm gonna, I'm gonna stop getting in my way. Well, the next biggest thing that comes up for people is like, oh, I can't. It's too late for me. I can't do this in my life right now. I'm like, maybe you're married and have kids, and you believe that, oh, I have a family to look after. I can't. It's not something I can do. Or maybe you're on the opposite end, and you're like, man, I'm only like 17 years old. I can't do this. But let me tell you, I'm going to give you two examples. Okay. Um, Everyone knows KFC. Okay. Like fried chicken. Harlan Sanders, Colonel Harlan Sanders, was 65 years old when somebody said yes to this recipe. 65 years old.
Wow.
So if you think you're too old or it's too late for you, imagine the world without KFC. And as a vegan, they even have a vegan sandwich. So let me tell you, just it's crazy. And and the reality is that we think that when we get in our own way or we can't get out of our own head, we're just affecting us. Imagine if Harlan Sanders, Colonel Harlan Sanders, didn't take KFC and he didn't keep trying at the age of 65. Just think about all the people that have jobs and an income and a career because of KFC right now. And you might say, oh, well, there would have been something else, or those people would have gotten jobs somewhere else. Maybe they would have. But the fact is, he made a difference at the age of 65, and his difference still stands.
Mm.
Okay, now let me tell you about the other side. One of the youngest, most wealthiest YouTubers is a little kid. Now, I can't remember his name or his age, to be honest. But all he does is he takes new toys and opens them and plays with them and reviews them. This kid makes millions of dollars a year doing this. Let me tell you, millions of dollars a year. All is because his parents probably decided that I'm going to record my kid opening these toys and reviewing them and put the video on YouTube. And now he's famous. And now companies send their toys to him and ask him and pay him to open the toys and review them. It's ridiculous. But the reality is there's no age limit. So if you've been telling yourself, yeah, I could have done this then, or, oh, I can't do this now, but maybe I can do it next year. Well, forget it. Let me tell you, you're kidding yourself. You're not getting out of your own way. You're staying in your way. You're staying in your head. And you need to take action today and not tomorrow, because tomorrow doesn't come. You need to take action today. And so subconsciously, Spencer, when we say, hey, let's do this today, I'm going to get out of my way. I'm going to go and do this. I'm going to do this today. And you go to do it. And then like, oh man, but I'm going to go clean the kitchen first. Like the dumbest thing that you've never cleaned the kitchen in the last 6 months, but all of a sudden today you've got to clean the kitchen because you don't want to go and do this. And I'm victim to this as well. Like I've done stuff like this to myself where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, but first I'm going to vacuum the house, or I'm going to clean my room, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to send these emails. it's like you distract yourself from going to do what you're saying you want to do.
Yeah.
Spencer, subconsciously, what are we doing?
Absolutely. And with that specifically, there's things going on subconsciously. For example, there's like we talked a little bit, when I was talking about earlier about negative statements. We actually have some of these negative statements. There could be one that actually literally says what you were talking about. I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I'm stuck. And stuff like that, or it's too late for me, or I'm powerless. These statements can actually be stuck in various forms of energies in the
Yeah.
body. And on top of that, there's a whole other topic called idea allergies or idea intolerances, where we can actually develop a negative feeling, or a negative, like our subconscious deems it as like a threat. So
Yeah.
us of having these statements, having these allergies, having these intolerances, our subconscious mind avoids these things like the plague. Like the plague. It like
Yeah.
literally will do anything and everything to do what it
Mhm.
can to avoid whatever that is. Maybe it's a phobia, maybe you get high intense like heart rate, maybe you get sweaty palms, or maybe you just get extremely tired, fatigued, or you'll just come up with every excuse in the book to avoid whatever it is that you're allergic to, or whatever your statement is involved with. And in the body code and emotion code, we can get, like I said before, we can get in there and we can find these things, and your body will tell us what's going on, and then we can extract it out of there and then watch the magnificent changes that happen in your life. So with that, that's kind of what's going on subconsciously. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Bally?
We could talk for hours on this, really, Spencer, because
Really good.
the reality is, and don't, you're not alone. This is what really want you to know, is that if you think you're the only one that's going through this, or the only one that's holding yourself back or getting in your own way, you're not.
Mm-mm.
I could count in the last, like, even month, I could count how many times, a number of times where I've gotten in my own way with something. Whether it's an idea, or whether it's, something I want to try, whatever it might be, we do it all the time. Now, for me, I'm very grateful that I've got someone like Spencer, my sidekick. Anytime I doubt something, I'm like, hey, Spencer, I have a bouncing board, and Spencer's like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do a session on you, and
Likewise.
boom, just like that, I can, I'm ready to go. I can do whatever I want to do now. So I'm very fortunate that I've got this. And the reality is we're all facing these struggles. We all have these thoughts in our mind where, oh, I can't do this, or we get in our own way. So if you're having a tough time, if you're stuck and you're in your own way, you want to do something, you want to make a change, but you don't know how, or you don't know where to start. Maybe you do know how, and maybe you do know where you want to start, but you just can't get started. Well, we can help, and we want to help you, and we want to get you started. So whether this is you, whether this is your business, whether you've got a team of people and you want us to work with your team of people or your staff, we can help you. We've got all sorts of options available. So connect with us, message myself, message Spencer, check out our website at leadyourideallife.com. Um, there's a lot of different ways you can connect with us. You can check out a couple of videos on that website and really find how we get out of, we let people get out of their own head and get out of their own way. Aside from that, tomorrow night we have an amazing, or not tomorrow, sorry, Thursday night, we have an amazing webinar. This webinar is really going to teach you about the biggest problems we have in our lives. Typically it's three areas of our life that we really have issues with, and it's our finances, it's our relationships, and our health. And we're really going to talk about those three things and how you can improve those three areas in your life. You'll get the opportunity to learn more about what we do, combining the conscious and subconscious. So go to 2020recoverymanual.com, www.2020recoverymanual.com, register your spot, space is limited, and find out what we're doing, find out what is available to you, and how you can really take control of your own life. Forget about the rest of 2020 and what's going on. There's under 2 months to go here, in this year, but you would be shocked, and you'll hear from one of our clients how quickly, and we're going to be interviewing them tomorrow, how quickly they were able to make a change in their life, in a very short period of time, combining the conscious and the subconscious together. So connect with us, because we want to help you. We want to get you out of your own head. With that said, Spencer, anything you'd like to add?
Not at all. I think that pretty much wraps up the video. With that, guys, I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for that fantastic interview. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.